Hello everyone and welcome to week 4 of season 2 of EGFH in Rocket League. Today we're live with our games from our Connecticut region. We're starting this season with games between the Kaynor Panthers and the Notre Green Knights. I want to thank our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club, the Yukon Engineering and Mob Crush for making this season possible. Now to get into this game, my name is Kevin Navik Dignan and for this series I'm joined by Nick, Vodable and Brozik. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Navik?
I'm doing well.
Well, it seems we're already getting into this first game. It's going to be a good one. First time we'll see the Kaynor Panthers and the Green Knights, but they're missing one of their players on the field currently.
Yeah, he is spectating right now, so we'll see if they request a pause.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay, so I don't think those 10 seconds made enough of a difference to restart the match. And again, on the blue side, we've got the Kaynor Panthers already getting their first score there. Scorch plays coming in like 15 seconds late, and he's like, "All right, let's just get a goal in."
Ooh, apparently a game opened up for Tekos on the other side, so it just completely spiked his connection to the server and everything. That happens sometimes. You got to be careful that you don't accidentally open up other programs when you're playing Rocket League, because your frames will drop, your performance will be down, and the goals like this will keep happening too.
Yeah. I think they're all right now. I think they would have for something. I think all they had to do was close the game that they had open. And on the red side, we have the Notre Dame Knights, as I was saying. So already the Kaynor 2 points up, and we have a slight correction to make from last week's cast and the week cast before that with Kaynor Panthers. We thought that Little Parking Lot and Paradox were new players. It turns out they've just been name changed. Little Parking Lot is Young Barcode from last season, and Paradox is actually Eclipse. So, you know, Nick, sometimes we don't get told these things, and we realize later, we're like, that makes sense. They have a lot of communication.
Yeah, they were looking pretty good and improved from last season, so I'm like, oh, these new guys, they're pretty much up to par at the least for the squad, especially with the 2 goals that they've scored so far.
It did feel a bit
might
odd.
be 3 soon.
Yeah, I mean, they are right now. They are just putting in the work, and there you go. There's a third one. Scorch plays again.
Just took him a little bit to get started, and then he's like, "Okay, we got everything. We're set. I got into the game. We're gonna score all the goals."
Yeah, like I'm in now, right? It's like, here we go, 1, 2, 3. Alright, and of course, Untitled is currently named Spook Titled, obviously due to Halloween being about, so maybe we'll see some more Halloween-themed games.
I'd hope so. It's always good to spread the holiday cheer and enjoy yourself with your name, because the good thing about PC is you can like change your name as much as you want.
Yeah.
Whereas like other platforms, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But Untitled with a great drop down, almost going to be finished by Tekos.
Yes.
But even after that one drive they had, that was really the best opportunity they had to get a goal past the defense.
Untitled getting a nice little save there from Paradox. Again, I think this first round, they had some issues at the start. They seem to have sorted it out, and this game's actually a lot more even if it is 3-0.
True, pacing-wise, it's a lot better.
Yeah. I think somebody just forgot to turn something off. My camera just switched into remote. There we go. A little duel going from there. Just the ball at the moment, like control-wise, it's very central. I don't think we've seen this much from like any game that we've watched on the season, but it's been staying on that central line quite frequently, just kind of bouncing back and forth the whole time.
Oh, no. Okay, that was a really close one. Tekos tried to go for the fake, but wasn't in control of the ball enough to get that past the defender and couldn't bait him out like he wanted. There's an opportunity.
Untitled nice. Getting set up by Tekos. Again, the angle he hit it at there, the ball just kind of went with the wall instead of bouncing off it. It worked out.
Well, they only have 2 more goals that they need to score if they want to bring it back to a potential overtime. They have plenty of time, 2 minutes. You mentioned it before. After the mishap of those first 3 goals, they were able to kind of slow things down, had the ball towards the midfield more often. We saw a lot more control out of the Notre Dame Green Knights, so looking forward to see what they can do for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, I mean, again, hopefully the next game we won't see Scorch Blaze getting 3 goals pretty much back to back. Oh, Paradox there, just aiming a little, hitting it just a little bit too high. The communication on the Green Knights is interesting. I'm not seeing too many double commit. As I say that, there was almost a triple commit for that ball. Oh, Spook just missing that.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of great setups by the Notre Dame Green Knights, where Tecos has been hitting that one off the wall in the corner, centering it in front of the net. They've just been barely off the mark for a lot of these finishes, or the ball's been too fast for them to get the connection they need and secure the goal. So the Panthers, they got to worry. If they keep putting on this pressure, it's eventually going to get past them, and the Green Knights might be able to bring it back to an even scoreline.
Yeah, Tecos once again setting up the ball, but it doesn't look like there's going to be anybody else to follow up onto a little parking lot. Kind of kicking it out, but Pogo was set up already to knock it straight back into their side.
Nice little pinch.
Again, Tecos is just on point with this, like, contesting and intercepting the ball whenever he has a chance. Oh. Paradox is gonna land. No, it doesn't. Oh.
It's a hard one to save from that angle. You see Untitled win the 50-50, pops off the ceiling, and then he'd have to read that bounce off the ceiling. It almost turned around in time.
Yeah.
But he might have just owned gold instead.
But he gave it his best shot there, and that was very unfortunate with trajectory.
Well, they have a few seconds if they want to bring this to a tie game, but going towards their net, no chance. Oh, it's off the... Okay, no chance, as I was mentioning. Hits the ground. Kaynor Czech Panthers take the victory in Game 1, where it was all led by Scorch Blaze getting that hat trick at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, shot-wise, they had, what, 4 more shots than the Green Knights. Saves, the Green Knights just had way more because there just wasn't as many shots. But I think the start was a bit rough, but when they started to grab their bearings a bit more, they kind of got it together, balanced out. They found 2 goals. So hopefully this next game, you know, should be a bit more even.
It's interesting that Untitled was the one who scored the 2 goals as well. Usually he was kind of the 3rd man on the rotation, just staying back towards his net in the previous season and the other games we saw. So I guess because Tecos and Pogologo were both going for the kind of setups, he like rotated in at the end to try and get the finishes there.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out for them. So I'd like to see more of that this next game.
It might be something that they've been practicing. I mean, is there really...
Do you think Scorch Blaze is going to get another hat trick in this one?
You know what? I'd be very impressed if he does, but I'm not hopeful on that one. I think the Green Knights were just finding their bearings.
Yeah, it was just the first game of this best of 5, so still plenty of chances for them to bring back the series, get things under control. It looks so much better in that second half as well, so if the rest of it goes that way, it should be fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'll make this prediction right now. I would not be surprised if this game goes to 5th match.
Just had to let them know they're good to join, unless there's a issue happening right now. I'm not quite sure. So we're waiting for the teams to join the field.
Yeah. And
there we
go. What is your prediction on this one? Do you think it's going to go to the 5th round, or do you see the Panthers taking it?
Okay, Scorch Blaze got disconnected earlier. Okay, we're good. I think the Panthers are most likely going to take this if Scorch Blaze is given the space he was in the last game. But afterwards, we saw Untitled and Tecos working together quite well. So if they're able to get that coordination down, they'll be able to take a few victories game-wise themselves. So it could be a little bit back and forth between these two teams.
Yeah, Scorched Blaze following up that Paradox, and then immediately after Little Parking Lot, all three of them committing for that. Fortunately, they didn't find anything out of it. Techo's looking set up for being stopped by Paradoxic this time. Scorched Blaze running it down the lane, and again, these double commits on the side of the Green Knights. Nice little setup, Little Parking Lot looking to try and get it a bit higher. Paradox following up behind it, but he just doesn't have the momentum or angle to get it where he wanted it to go.
Oh, there we go.
That was unfortunate. Little Parking Lot just missing the ball, and it just gave Pogo Logo practically just a free route to his base. There you go.
Yeah, great touch by him to sneak it right on past them, secure the lead for their team. Already looking better than they did the first game of this best of 5, where we saw Scorched Blaze just pop off the entire game. I'm really looking out for Techos to get more shots and set up his teammates. Untitled, great shot as well. Had to send both defenders up for that one too.
Yeah, he almost managed it there, and if Paradoxic can't get this ball cleared, there's going to be some follow-up. Techo's looking for it, hitting Paradoxic into the air. It's going to have a bounce back into the center of the field, but there's nobody to follow up on it, except for Little Parking Lot there. You know, I was keeping my eye on the Green Knights, but Little Parking Lot actually managed to just capitalize on that, just get that little hit in, keeping it into the air and straight in the center. What a lovely goal.
And that was all set up by all 3 members of the Green Knights just being pushed up too far into the defensive end of the Panthers. And that overaggression cost them with that long booming clear. And the Panthers are going to be looking out for a few more opportunities like that. But Pogo Logo. Oh, no.
And I think that was an own goal by Scorched Blaze. He actually got 2 saves in that one goal. So I actually want to see if the bounces off of him twice. What?
Yeah, so he almost managed to scoop it out, but the way he was going, he couldn't get out of the way in time to avoid knocking the ball into the net. So instead it just bounced in.
Yeah, and there must have been just enough distance for it to count as 2 saves.
Yeah, exactly. So looking pretty good for Pogo Logo this game. He was actually at the bottom of the scoreboard last time. Didn't really do too much other than a few saves, so it's just showing the versatility of this Green Knights team and how much they have improved recently.
And this might be another blow from Untitled there, set up by Techos. Like we were saying, right? Techos has been setting up all of these shots for his team.
Yes, just some great coordination going on between the Green Knights. The Panthers kind of falling apart. They had all that offense in the first game, but then as soon as the Green Knights were able to get their wits about them, they just crumbled into pieces defensively, you could say.
Yeah.
Might have to go out for all-out offense if they want to come back, and can't really afford to miss those kind of shots too. So he saw, I think that was Little Parking Lot, just whizzed right by the ball.
Yeah, again for the second time. He's not having much luck at the last couple of games. Techos again looking to try and set something up. Untitled's going to contest against Scorch, but Scorch is going to win that little skirmish there. Pogo looking for something. Paradoxic actually knocking it into the middle. And Techo's flying up into the air. Little Parking Lot managing to stop it. That was a lovely correction from Techos there, though. He saw where the ball was going and just went for it.
Almost got a pretty nasty touch there as well.
Oh,
barely off the crossbar.
Yeah, and Techos can't find the follow-up because of Paradoxic. Now, is this going to be the chance for the Panthers to find their second goal? It is. The chip there was lovely. See on the replay.
That was also set up by Pogo Logo. Got confused because his 2 teammates bumped into each other. One of the attackers was taken out by Techos, and Pogo Logo was expecting the touch by that first attacker. So once it got passed off, he couldn't get the save that he needed. He mistimed it. And as you mentioned, that chip up was too much for him to kind of overcome in the short amount of time he had on that play.
Yeah, he was already committing to try and contest the ball, so the chip up, he stop it in time. Little parking lot, just getting the ball over Pogo Logo there. They're looking to try and set it up again. Untitled managing to get it away before anything like that happens. Of course, it's 2-3 on the scoreboard to the Green Knights with a minute left, or a minute 20 left on the clock. So they could still easily catch up.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And there it is.
That was a series of unfortunate events on the defense. Tekos went up for this one, tried to clear it. Instead, somewhat pinched it softly off the wall and ended up setting up scorch plays on that attack. So instead of getting the clear he wanted and maybe bouncing it away from the center, he actually centered it for the opponents. And they were able to get the secure with that one. Scorch plays really stepping up hugely for his team, as he now has 2 goals to his name.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, he might get another hat trick.
Could see it. Didn't think it was possible after we saw the Green Knights with all the pressure they had in the first half of this game, though.
Yeah, and if Tekos doesn't look like he has boosts, so yeah, he's going to try and stop the little parking lot's going to follow up on it, and Paradoxic is set up, just missing. Oh, that was a close one.
Yeah, I'm really looking to see what the Green Knights can do to get themselves back into this game. I think that might have been 2 or 3 unanswered goals by the Panthers. And the Green Knights, they're feeling the pressure. They keep getting pushed to their side like they were in the first half, the last game.
Yeah, it's
they
really
really
over once again.
Yeah, exactly.
And trying to set it up something. Tekos actually just sitting kind of in the background now, not making as many plays as he was before, I'd say. Maybe just erring on the side of caution, not wanting to give them another goal. 2 seconds left onto the clock, of course. Once this ball touched the ground, we are going to be going into overtime unless one of the teams can find a goal off of this. Again, no, Pogo Logo is not going to let that happen. He's forced it to overtime.
Yeah, and it's the first overtime of this best of 5 between these 2 teams, so
I think
all
it's
or
the
nothing.
first overtime of this season.
No, we've had one before, I believe. Could be mistaken on those stats, though. But overtimes are so difficult for either side because it just resets the playing field.
Yeah.
Basically, after a kickoff happened, so any team can get the advantage. You could see a kickoff goal. You could see one team just boost start the other team, make sure they have nothing to work with on their end. Or you could see shots like this almost go in if it would have been a little bit off target.
But once again, Tekos seems to be very, I'm either going to set my team up, I'm either going to be a one-man army, or I'm just going to sit back. The 3 sides of Tekos.
Yeah, he's trying to be like an all-rounder for their team.
Again, it has been working out fairly well, other than maybe being slightly too aggressive. Again,
That's a great setup.
Nice little shot, but slightly too high and slightly to the left. So again, overtime doesn't actually have a clock, so if this game goes on for an hour, it goes on for an hour.
Can you imagine?
You know what, at that point, I think we'd just be hoping somebody scores, but Paradoxic isn't going to let it get to that, and we're going to see the second game going to the KT Panthers.
That was an amazing aerial play by Paradoxic. Able to just carry that all the way. Didn't really need to put too many touches on it, too. Saw the trajectory of the ball and knew that nobody would be able to get the save. But he was there just in case they went for it. Had enough boost to make those minor adjustments if he needed, and was able to get them the win. So now 2-0 for the Kaynor Panthers with an amazing comeback in game 2.
Yeah. I mean, they were 1-3, and they ended that round in 4-3. So
yep.
Fair play to them.
I think one of the players are just going to be trying to get back into the server itself after we start this next game. So we saw before, maybe still having some issues.
We should see him joining back any minute now, but I want to say we're going to go to a quick break whilst we wait for it, and we'll be right back with some more Rocket League. Unfortunately, we just found out that on the side of the Notre Dame Green Knights, one of their players had a technical issue, so they are going to be forfeiting the last round to the KT Panthers, meaning that the KT Panthers win this series 3-0. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest, Nick. I thought this was gonna go to 5-0, or to round 5. I still think it could have, but we're gonna have to
Possibly.
see another week when these two teams play against each other again.
Yeah, hopefully those tech issues get sorted out and they can play a full match. I think they've had some happen like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
But
hopefully those...
good victory by the Kaynor Tech Panthers, just coming back down 3-1, non-stop offense. As I mentioned before, I don't want to be tooting my own horn, but all they need to do is get on offense and they'd be able to stomp out their opponents, and that's exactly what they did in that game. So really looking good for the Panthers moving forward into the remaining weeks.
And I'm looking forward to seeing them play, like you were saying, and hopefully we get to see a rematch at some point in the series. Of course, we've got League of Legends tomorrow and Overwatch on Thursday. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to the beginning of the season with the Kaynor Tech Panthers taking the victory. You can follow us at official EGF on Twitter and Twitch for updates and announcements. This season wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsor, Mob Crush, and the Yukon Gaming Club and the Yukon School of Engineering. I've been Kevin Navik Dignan. You can find me on Twitter at NavicCasts. That's NavicCasts. And Nick?
I've been Nick Vaudible Ambrozic, and you can find me at Vaudible on all the social medias, which is at VODIBLE. Almost said the @ sign in there. And thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.